This is the Stubborn German Podcast. I'm Kevin Oosty, coming to you from a very special location this time, which we're going to reveal in a second. As always, joined by the proprietor of the Stubborn German Brewing Company, Mr. Chris Ron.
What's up, Kevin?
Right now, everything is up. This is a very cool experience for us.
Yes.
And where we are is at Nichols Saloon.
Yes.
And as people rush to their iPhones to find out on the map where Nichols Saloon is, it's not. Right?
You can't find it.
This is a private establishment that is run by our friend Stephen Nichols and his son, Sandy Nichols.
Yeah.
Got a little extra bourbon.
Oh, you got
there.
a
little choked up.
A little verklempt.
Have another.
Yeah,
clear that out.
Yeah, and Stephen's wife Karen is here as well. And this is actually along the theme of the speakeasy at the Stubborn German. This is a basement bar that is like none other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, and it's so cool. And I keep turning around, looking at the giant display of bourbons behind me, and really awesome stuff. I'm excited to dig in here and have at least a little sip of every single thing on the bar.
Right.
Good luck. I've tried that. It doesn't work well, no.
Certainly not in one sitting. But before we get into all that, there's a tradition here on the Stubborn German Podcast. If you two gentlemen have ever heard this show before, it's an unwinnable competition called the German Word of the Week of the show. What do you got there, Chris?
It's not unwinnable if you know German.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
It's all right. I don't either. I have to use Google. So the German word of the day for today it's actually a phrase. So it's Das ist mir wurscht.
Das ist mir wurscht.
That's it. You nailed it.
Of course I did.
So what's it mean?
Because I'm a gracious host, we're going to let our guests go first.
Well, actually, they're the hosts. So
well, they're the host of this. I'm the host of that.
10-4.
So, Stephen, any idea?
Say that word again.
Das ist mir wurscht.
Mir wurscht.
Das ist mir wurscht.
Das ist mir wurscht.
That's a good one.
Das ist mir wurscht.
Das ist mir wurscht.
I heard that.
Sandy just opened the
Whiskey's
zipper.
making me warm.
Yeah.
I heard the zipper and I was like, what is that? Man, that is... I had a fleeting thought and then it went away. It fleeted.
It fleeted.
Das ist mir wurscht.
Reversed. First is something like song. Verses of a song.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's said in German or not.
Logic there.
It means, how about sing-along?
A sing-along.
A sing-along. Okay.
Okay.
Good guess. Sing-along. All right. It's noted.
All right, Sandy. Das ist mir wurscht.
Well, the first thing that popped into my mind was it's my birthday.
Ooh.
So it's
happy birthday.
It's not actually my birthday, but maybe that's what the saying is talking about.
Sandy says, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Maybe it's a birthday song.
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
It's a birthday sing-along.
Or maybe someone's
it.
birthday.
We've got
Could be all in
two
the
singing responses.
All right.
Kevin?
I'm going to say it's This Is My Sausage.
Very controversial.
Hang on. This is my sausage. All right. It is noted, sir. Tune in at the end of the show.
Right.
Do not skip all the way forward. Actually listen to the content in the middle.
That's right. So,
Okay.
this is a first for us in the Stubborn German Podcast to be completely off-site. We've been out in front for Stubborn Fest.
Yep.
But we'd like to thank our hosts here, Steve and Sandy, for having us over. And Steve, this is your house. You live at this bar.
Sometimes, yes. I've not slept behind it, though.
Not intentionally?
Not intentionally, no. But we have talked if there's a tornado that probably behind my bar, its sturdiest place in the house is on the floor is where to be.
Mm-hmm,
If there's a tornado at my house, I'm coming to this house.
Coming
Okay.
here, right, yeah.
Come on down.
Well, to kind of describe this setting, when you hear the term basement bar, there's a lot of them around in this town that people that take a lot of pride in their basement, entertainment. But this one definitely takes things to a whole new level. So there's a Western theme here. You know, the lighting, the decor, the overall feel and color of the wood. There's some spittoons on the ground, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I used one earlier.
Yeah, you
I found some bourbon I didn't like.
You don't sit on it, Chris. And then of course against the back wall is this 3-tiered multi-pane bar, and it's got a good look. It's wood with mirror and things you'd expect, but there is a lot of different bourbon here and whiskey and different spirits. So, Stephen, how did you end up? All of us like to have a bar for utility purposes to kind of keep your booze, but this is a collection. This is for real.
Yes, it is. As we were talking upstairs when they first got here, I used to be a Jack and 7 guy, and then little by little, I started drinking Bullet and some Woodford Reserve and a couple other bourbons, and one leads to another, and pick up a bottle of rye here or there, and it started out upstairs in the dining room, and it went from 10 bottles to 20 to somebody'd say, "Oh, yeah, did you have this bottle?" And then I'd go out and find that at the store, and it just kind of grows until it outgrew the dining room about 2 years ago, and it was over 120 or so bottles. And
nice.
So Christmas came, and I kind of had to pack it up for the holidays, and then it just kind of stayed down here in boxes. And so I retired last year, first of last year, and Karen had graciously said, "You ought to remodel the basement and build a bar for it." I go, "Let me have it." So
twist my arm.
Sounds good to me.
Being a designer, I jumped on my AutoCAD and started laying it out, and
awesome.
Talked to a wood place out in St. Charles, and where I got all the redwood and all the trim pieces, and laid it out, made a material list, which when I showed up with my material list, the guy about fell over. He goes, "Really? And you've made drawings and they're all dimensioned?"
Uh-huh.
Most people coming in building a bar don't have a clue what they're doing.
No. Do I smell an engineer?
Yeah. There you go. And so that's just how it kind of came about. And it wasn't until I was kind of done with it, and I started pulling all the bottles out, that I at first realized I don't have enough room on the shelves. And so there comes the little steps behind, like Chris has.
Those were additions, huh?
Yeah, those were additions, revisions, so to speak, to the design, because I kind of counted roughly how many bottles I could put on the shelves, but I underestimated.
Well, I see a lot of wine back here. That could probably all go, right?
I do have a wine. I have a wine cellar in the back of the basement, along with all the Karen's canned goods. It stays a little cooler back there, but
nice.
Yeah, that's true. I could put some shelves in here.
Well, there you go. So there, I gained you 50 more spots.
Yeah, there you go, 50 more. So I'm up around 275 right now.
Wow,
different labels, so to speak. And you look at Knob Creeks, and I got 8 or 9 different Knob Creeks, and so
yeah. That's a lot. I mean, so I think at Stubborn German we have about 150 on our bar back, and I think there's around 50 for sale in the bottle shop itself, which I think I see just about every single one of those here. So thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
I've purchased your bottle shop several times. Yes, I think I have most of your barrel picks.
Yeah, I noticed those as well. That's pretty cool to see a collection with. That includes all that, Yeah. And I mentioned earlier that Mellow Corn is just up hanging out on the very top shelf, as it should be.
It came down a time or two.
Yeah. No, I like it up there. It's a good look.
Sometimes it's just the arrangement it's a taller bottle, so it's on the top back shelf, where shorter bottles are in front of it, just so you can kind of...
No, it's a very high quality product, and that's why it's on the top shelf, right?
Well, there's
that's
that. But your engineering background does come across with the way they are arranged on the shelves. And you and Chris were talking before we started doing this about that philosophy of how do you display or store the various labels. And in Chris's case, you do a little bit more of a shotgun approach.
Yeah.
And I think that's largely because of utility. You got to get something quick and get it down. And
right.
So things are kind of in various places.
Sure.
Here, there's a lot of precision involved in this presentation. Yeah. I mean, they're like you're saying, they're by height, they're by label brand, they are turned in a certain way so that they fit, but you can still read them. There's
that's so you can get more on the shelf.
Well, that too,
for the flat bottles.
Yeah, so they're sized and placed, packaged, if you will. So very nice work. A lot of thought is in this.
Very cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just still admiring.
Yeah.
Are you ready for another sample, Chris?
I'm picking up my next one is what I'm doing. I think I'm working on rare breed rye, so I'm trying to find stuff that I can't get in Illinois or whatever. So Rare Breed, made by Wild Turkey in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. But yeah, they came out with the rye version of Rare Breed, and I still haven't been able to get my hands on any yet. So
yeah, and that's
one of these days.
Something I've noticed too, and I'm sure you do with the distribution.
Yeah,
I'd picked up a bottle of the Elijah Craig rye a couple years ago down in Tennessee, somewhere down there.
That's right. It was out early.
Karen's family lives in South Carolina, and so when we stop at rest stops or gas stops, I look for a liquor store and see what they have. And I've seen that. In fact, the lady in the liquor store, she said, "Oh, this is just out. This is just out." I brought it home, and I hadn't seen it around here. Yeah. It wasn't until I think one of your basement
brown water
societies, you were talking to a distributor, says, "Oh, it's coming out." And I turned to Sandy, and they're like, "What do you mean it's coming out? I've had it for 6 or 9 months."
Nice.
You want to try it? I got a bottle.
Yeah, come on over.
Price just went up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So as we travel around on vacations, I pick up some stuff, or like you said earlier, when you go down and do some of the tastings. Evan Williams is that way. Yeah. Some of the bottles are only available there at their store
in those gift shops. So then that is the time to jump on them. Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what Kevin's got, right? The 12-year Evan Williams?
Yes.
The red label?
It's a red label Evan Williams that, the bottle is striking, big number 12 on the front. Chris pointed out that this is only a gift shop item or available in Japan.
Yeah. And unless you guys just came from Japan.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we wound up walking out of there with a case. And it was, nice. A bottle of this and a bottle of that.
Yeah.
And we had a great host that it seems maybe that a lot of the tour guides down there are retired school teachers.
Yeah.
And they said they do very well. They remember their spiel that they got to give. Yeah. And they're good with the customers and stuff coming through. And she was a retired school teacher. And so then afterwards, she's going along pointing out more things in the shop that, this. Oh, here, let me give you a taste of this one. It's like, all right, put that in a box. Karen's looking at me.
Tough sell.
Because we're 3 blocks away from the hotel. and we're walking. It was in downtown Louisville.
And then at that point, it became uphill, too.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So, just a quick side note question on this particular Evan Williams that I'm drinking. That was for the Japanese market. Mm-hmm. What's the motivation outside of making the Japanese market feel special about doing an individual for that? That's
a good question. So. Basically, when there's right now we're under a bourbon boom is what they say, and this has probably been for the last, let's call it 10 years, for to be even. But before that, bourbon was not very popular, and I'm talking more like 20 to 30, even 40 years ago. Bourbon was not popular at all, and there were some distilleries that went belly up during that time. There were some pretty lean years for the bourbon industry in Kentucky. And the only people in the world that were drinking bourbon was the Japanese market. So really? Blanton's to this day, Blanton's a lot of their special variations they're only found in Japan. Like these Evan Williams. Steve talked earlier about the I.W. Harper 15-year. That fancy square bottle.
Yeah, very cool bottle.
That was a Japanese thing. So like a lot of these, they either started here and then they got through sometime. Four Roses was that way. The whole brand of Four Roses was not available for sale in the United States for many years,
really?
Decades. Yeah, and it's just in Japan. And then now, of course, everyone in the world is drinking bourbon pretty much, so it's obviously available here now.
Yeah.
But kind of interesting how that all happened, and then how some of the, like I said, the Blanton stuff, like that's just like an old. I don't know if it's necessarily like a contract, like you have to only sell it to us, or it's just like, hey, you got us through when we needed you, so this is yours until you quit drinking it. Kind of.
Nice.
That's kind of how I like to look at it, but
cool.
Yeah, pretty neat stuff.
That is, and I know the the Japanese like what they like, and they like a lot of it. Cheap Trick and Kiss and bourbon, I guess. So that's fantastic. So Sandy, we haven't heard much from you. So how is it that your dad's the coolest kid in the family at this point? No offense to you.
Out, I guess.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, we did some traveling together for work, and I guess right about then when he tried to introduce me to drinking the straight stuff. I had always mixed Jack with something, and I don't know, that's 6-8 years ago.
Yeah.
So then, it got to be a expedition at lunch hour. Sometimes we'd go shopping for for some bargains. But it's been fun.
Now, you gave us kind of the synopsis of how this collection grew and it moved from upstairs to downstairs and everything, but I don't know if I missed the part of the timeline. When did you start kind of collecting or going into expanding this more than just what you were going to sip tonight?
I never really set out and said I was going to get X number of bottles. It just started out with getting something different, and like I said, it grew upstairs that it was 4 deep on the buffet, and I had 120 or more bottles up there, and Karen's looking at me every time she comes in and says, "That's a new one." Like, "Oh, you noticed?"
Now, were you a lifelong whiskey fan, or is this something that you just got into? Or
I was, Bud Light, Miller Light, whatever cheap beer.
Milwaukee's best.
Sure,
light.
Yeah.
Growing up,
We've all been there.
and drank beer most of my life, and got into some Jack and Seven. As I've gotten older, the bubbles don't like me with the beer. I'll have one, but then after that, I'm sloshing, and so then I started mixing it with Seven or Squirt or something like that, and then little by little, like Sandy said, traveling, and you've seen some other bourbons, and I started cutting back on the soda. And so it got almost a game with the bartender. You're not giving them a hard time, but it's like just put a splash of soda in it and 3 ice cubes. And then, the next time it'd be, forget the soda and 3 small little ice cubes, and they kind of look at you. And it's like, and then finally it's just like, forget the ice. I'm just drinking it straight.
Yeah, right.
And I think Karen kind of did that to me. I brought home the bourbon one time, and I was still putting ice in it and poured it I was going to pour it in a glass, and she goes, "No, just give it to me neat." And I kind of looked at her. I'm like,
there you go.
Okay, I guess we'll just do it neat now.
Yeah. I find myself getting upset now if they dump ice in my drink on accident.
Oh yeah,
like you ruined it.
Stop it.
Yeah, I've
Get that out of there.
I've made that mistake before. Is that I'll order something and then I'll want an ice water, and they come with it, and I look at it and they go, "Well, it's in ice and water."
Yeah,
I didn't want it in there.
Yeah,
they did that to us recently.
Don't mix it all up.
Yeah, don't mix it all up. Yeah, recently we ran into that.
And so they just took the ice out and gave us the whiskey back, watered down,
strained the ice out. It was still cold. Yeah.
Was that a Stubborn German?
No.
No.
But it was in town.
We're gonna have to do some training.
Yeah, they did. They need some training.
Well, I'll tell you what. On an earlier episode, we went through. You demonstrated that process of the difference between being on ice and with a little bit of water, and then totally neat. And when you sit down and really just, I guess savor and enjoy that, and pick up on those flavor differences, it's unbelievable how much different they get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a huge difference. So yeah. I mean, if people get a little upset about, you added water, or you added ice. Like, I mean, that is kind of a real thing. Like, if you're asking for a neat pour and it's got something in it, we're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I pulled the old Forester off the shelf, the single barrel. That is one of your barrel picks.
Yes.
And
That's a hot one.
It's 133 and a third, as they say.
Boy.
And that one can use a drop or two or a little ice cube.
That
or
one
something.
Definitely opens up with a couple drops.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I very, very rarely drink that neat. That's usually a cube or 2.
And it's
now
not,
you tell me.
And it's not the first drink of the night either.
No, that's usually the last one.
Last one.
Work up to that one, and
Yeah.
then be prepared to call it after that.
Yes.
You've already had a couple of Kentucky hugs, and you're past that.
Yeah, the hugs have been flowing at that point.
So, as you you've got your couple hundred bottles and you got everything kind of lined out. I'm not fully aware of the scope of the bourbon market. I mean, how much more out there is there? Do we even know, for you to continue to pursue different avenues and different bottles?
Oh, you go on this one. I mean, I buy what can fit on my shelf, but you've got more shelf space. So, what else is there besides all this?
The whiskey market, I think, is like the beer market, and like everything else. And like maybe the wine started it with all the local wineries, and the bigger ones were able to bottle and sell outside of their neighborhood, and the distillers, the brewers, are the same way. And you've seen that, I think, with the whiskey. I don't get the total wines as often as I used to when I worked up in St. Louis, but it's like you go down the aisle and it's like, never heard of that one before, never heard of that one before.
Right.
I wonder if it's worth trying or not, because I don't set at many bars other than yours to sample those anymore. So it's like, $50, and I don't know what it's going to taste like.
Should be a gamble, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a thing, and that, as more and more craft distillers come online, and also a craft distillery, if you have a couple choices. If you're going to open up today as a craft distillery, you can either source aged whiskey from a different distillery, or you can start distilling on day one, put that away, and in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, release it.
Yeah.
So, so I would expect more and more to come on, as the years go, because we've got new distilleries opening every day, and some of them are taking that approach of we're going to just lay down whiskey and eventually it'll be ready. So more to come,
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think it's an open market. It's like wine. I mean, how many different labels there's on wine? I mean, we go up to Michigan quite a bit, and I've got some Traverse City whiskey here, and there's another one, Straits, which was from the UP. Mm-hmm. And, it's like, all right, it's only going to be there, so I'll pick up a bottle or two of it and bring it home.
Sure.
Is it good?
Something different. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
Well, let me reach back here.
Well,
clink, clink, clink.
On that note,
there we go. Look at that.
You've been unbelievably gracious with sharing the stuff with us here.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you would see this and it's like, this is my collection and you can have this bottle of Makers that I bought at Schnucks. And
this is your section.
Right. And you really didn't put any limitations on it. You're like, you go to town.
Well, that was the first thing out of his mouth was, there's nothing off limits.
For sure, right? And that's...
I see some things that I will not touch just out of respect, but
What's that?
I don't know. There's a few bottles that I can see that you had to work pretty hard to grab, and...
You're just tasting over there tonight anyway, so it's not like I'm pouring you 4 ounces.
I know, I understand, but no.
Well, that was going to be my next question is, which ones were the hardest to get, or is there stuff that you're really protective of that you're like, when that one's gone, I can't get it again, and I really like it, and I'm not going to share it with Chris, and that whole thing?
I know that Weller 12 was not cheap.
Yeah. But, if you want some.
The antique is good.
Chris has 12. So what's your taste buds wanting to taste, Chris?
Right now I have this Straits whiskey in front of me that you handed me, and it's light colored. I'm interested to see what this is going to taste like. It's 82 proof. Just says distilled from grain, and this is from Cedarville, Michigan. Never have heard of it.
It's across the bridge.
Yeah, there's a bridge right there on it.
Yeah. Mackinac Bridge.
Don't cross it.
Don't cross
bridge. So it's way north.
It's in the UP there.
Went fishing with some friends up there.
Oh, up by there?
Up by there.
That's pretty smooth.
Yeah. So it was fine.
82 proof. Yeah, you're not going to get a ton of crazy bold flavors or anything, but 82 proof whiskey. This is what this.
That's what we thought about Blanton's too.
Yeah, it's pretty smooth. What $20 a bottle?
Yeah, we guessed at $20.
Yeah, we did an evil little trick on Blanton's at our last BWS meeting. The theme of the BWS meeting for the month was guess the price range. So basically we tasted through 6 or 7 whiskeys like we always do, but it was blind, so you had no clue what you're tasting. So you took a sip, and I did price ranges on a dry erase board. So it was 10 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 to 70, 70 to 90, 90 plus. And there was something in every range. We started with Blanton's, and Blanton's is a single barrel, so that means the master distiller grabs a barrel that he thinks is special and says, this one is good enough to be a single barrel Blanton's. Now, that it does fit the Blanton's profile, sure, but there can still be clunkers in there, and there can still be amazing ones, and then there can be, the majority of them are going to be right in the middle. We kind of landed on, I'm not going to call it a clunker, but it was not what I would call the typical Blanton's profile, so it was a little outside the norm. Not quite as sweet, more dry, more just, not harsh, but just wasn't the typical sweet, that's Blanton's, So people tried it, and the majority guessed $10 to $30 for Blanton's. So the big reveal, I hold the bottle up, and everybody's just, oh, darn it. So that was a lot of fun. And then I followed that up directly with Evan Williams Bottled and Bond.
Yeah. We all went high on that one.
Yeah, $20 bottle or something. And then everybody, because they kind of got screwed on the first one. They're like, well, we're going to go the other way on this one. And they guessed that was like, whatever, 60 to,
I was in
80
camp.
or something. And it was not 60 to 80. It was like, 20? So that was a fun couple. And then the rest people were more dialed in after that. But it was fun to go from Blanton's to the shock and awe to the, okay, quit hunting Blanton's and go get some Evan Williams that's on the shelf all the time,
Well, which it comes down to what are your taste buds like.
Yeah,
absolutely. Whether it's a beer or whether it's a wine, whatever it is, what do you like to drink?
Yeah, and that's why this is so fun, is because everybody's different, and I might love that bottle, and you might just think it's okay, but love that bottle, and that's okay. That's why there's 100 and how many bottles are here?
275.
That's why you have to have 275 bottles on your bar back. That's why.
Yes, because your tongue has different moods.
And you never know when some guys are going to say, yeah, let's record a podcast in your basement. And you just never know. That could happen at any point.
There's a cowboy hat up there. I bet it fits Chris.
What size you wear?
I bet it does.
Probably
too.
will.
Yeah. We'll go about another half hour. We'll find out.
Kevin, you need...
I'm getting there. Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm not sure yet.
Kevin's glass is dry.
Yeah,
he's
they
talking
some,
too much.
Some oddballs too. I've not seen.
Yeah, I brought some stuff that
Old Scout.
So for my situation at the brewery, I'm not able to. So the only stuff I'm allowed to have at the brewery in the building is stuff that I bought from a distributor.
Okay, I was wondering.
So this is all stuff that I grabbed on my own, or from a distillery, or from a vacation, or something like that. So yeah, I've just got some random things. I got a this is a barrel pick from a Collective Pour up in, I think it's Champaign. My buddy Huffy brought that down during deer season, so that's kind of a special one. That's really good. I got all kinds of fun stuff.
I had an Old Scout up there, but it's probably the regular Old Scout.
You probably do, and I haven't seen it, but I'll find it.
Yeah, scout it out.
Scout it out. It's the opposite of a Boy Scout. It's an Old Scout.
It's an Old Scout.
Speaking of old, Chris, let me set me up a little bit of that old elk right
Old
there.
elk. I saw you looking at that.
That's a good
there's
one.
your Old Scout. Yeah. Okay.
Just
I'll pour it.
But thank you. You're the professional. I'm not. So we're going to try some.
So, Chris, you were talking whiskey. Do you have a bar or anything at home? You have such a nice collection when you want to drink to go downtown, but...
He's probably tired of drinking by the time he gets home.
Oh, that could be.
So I do. I have a collection of things. It's this kind of stuff. It's stuff that I found at distillery gift shops,
All right.
or whatever. It's got some kind of special meaning for whatever reason. But so I don't know. I've probably got 25 or 30 bottles of just kind of random things like that. And I don't know. Sometimes the random bottle might follow me home from the bar. It kind of depends. Yeah,
it's almost empty.
Okay, so we have, that's a thing too. That's called the Chris pour. It's so in a bottle there's like 17 1.5 ounce pours, but it's like 17.3 whatever ounces. So I get the 0.3 blah 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 ounces of every. Since we use a jigger on every one, it's every single bottle. There's that much left. So
because we were doing the math last night and we kept coming up with all kinds of numbers. How many pours it was in a bottle?
Well, it depends on what your pour size is. But yes, we do 1.5 ounces, so that's 17.
Okay,
is that what we call it?
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So you've got the angel share and the Chris pour.
There you go.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, very nice. This is good. This old elk.
Is it
good? Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about trying that, but I want to try this Rebel. That is Is it Three Amigos? Where did you find this thing? This looks really cool. So it's a Rebel Yellow. So Luxro does
got that down there at the distillery.
Oh, at the distillery. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Pick that up at the distillery.
Well, then I will have to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel Yell is made by Lux in Bardstown. Used to be St. Louis company, but they built a distillery in Bardstown, and they do Ezra Brooks and Rebel Yell, or Rebel is what they call it now, as their barrel picks. And we just did an Ezra. That was our. I think we still have a few bottles of that left. But
Really good.
yeah, that's a good drinker.
The 99 or the
ours is a barrel pick, but
the old 7.
You got the
look at
7
that,
here
yeah.
too, man.
Yeah, those are both good.
This is gonna be the longest podcast ever.
Well, so right over here in the bar is a printed list that multi pages.
Yes.
If you
That was another
just do
thing
some
that
shopping.
I had to
Doesn't
develop.
everybody keep a list?
right.
I had to develop a spreadsheet on my phone because I started finding myself bringing home
Duplicates
something that I already had.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got to do something. So I started the Excel spreadsheet probably when I had 40, 50 bottles and then sent it to my email onto my phone and downloaded it. So then I kept updating it on my phone. And one or two times I had a couple of errors. You go do it and it's like, what happened to all those bottles that I just put in? And So then, not too long ago, a couple months ago, I did an inventory where I printed that out and went through bottle by bottle by bottle and checked them off. And it was about a half dozen light that I guess I picked up and forgot to put in the spreadsheet. But that's the only way now. So, and then at the bottom of my spreadsheet on my phone, I have a list of my wish list, as I call it.
Okay.
Where maybe I went on my phone and looked at somebody's 10 best whiskeys, and if it's in my price range, because I don't spend a ton of money on stuff. I don't buy the crazy stuff. And so I look at them when I go to a liquor store or go on a vacation, then it's kind of look and see if I can find it.
Yeah, so nice. This will be the true engineer question. When you did your inventory in your spreadsheet, did you also put how many ounces you had left of each?
No, I did not.
Did you weigh every bottle?
No. Or how many bottles that I have of some of them.
You have to dump the liquid out of the bottle, weigh the empty bottle, then you'll know exactly what. Record that weight.
Some of the harder to find ones when I've been able to find it or run across it, the Pikesville or Heaven Hill or McKenna. Some of those McKenna bottles I've had for several years when you could find it.
Yeah.
The same way down below back here, there's several bottles of Taylor. I don't know, maybe another 4. And it was back when you could find them at Schnucks.
Yeah.
Eons ago. And
right.
I just, every time I go, oh, they got another bottle. Oh, they got another bottle. It's like not knowing that someday you're never going to be able to find it. But if you do, it's $100 a bottle. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
So, that's
that was a thing that did happen.
A little foresight on some of those. The same way with the Blantons. I got a couple Blanton bottles, and I did not paint an arm and a leg for them.
Good. Good.
Well, that brings up another question. So when a bottle is purchased and it comes here and it goes on the shelf, I'm guessing just by this limited experience I have here that eventually it gets consumed and that's it. Are you also a seller, or you just buy and drink and share?
I buy and drink. I don't sell.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, can you sell me the rest of this?
Gets a fair share of it.
I might trade or border with you, Chris, if you've got something
I might
don't
do that
have.
for this this Rebel that I'm trying. This is outstanding.
Good.
I'm really digging it. Pretty good stuff from the distillery, which of course the distillery pick is they're gonna keep their good stuff there.
Yeah,
which I would too.
Yeah,
to go there to get the good
stuff. Well, yeah. Must be really good if it's at the gift shop.
You've obviously made a bunch of trips down there, and like you're saying, stopping at different places. Any bottle have a particular crazy adventure tied to it of a trip that was just very memorable, and that was the product that came out of it? As Sandy started laughing.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a story.
Yeah, maybe.
There was a certain trip for work that a bottle of Taylor rye was purchased.
Oh, yes.
Kind of by accident.
Yes.
I think it was mislabeled.
Yes.
And
I mislabeled it. When we were traveling, there was kind of a process that I'd fly down to New Orleans on a Monday afternoon, and on the way from the airport to the hotel where several of us were staying, I'd hit a local grocery store that did have a good selection of whiskey, and they had good stuff. And you were going back 4 or 5 years, and they'd have the Taylor small batch quite often, and I'd pick that up. Or one time I actually scored a bottle of Blanton's, which that came home in my suitcase. We did not drink that there.
And
so I didn't know that.
little you don't know. I usually carry my bag on. I had to go to Walmart and buy a suitcase,
for it,
pack it in to ship it back home with me that week.
Don't blame you.
So it cost me more.
That's great.
There was an E.H. Taylor, and I think I opened it and drank some of it, and then left it for some of my comrades to have, and he said it was the single barrel, not the small batch. I'm like, really? It's the first bottle I had ever found, and here we drank it.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. Oh, well.
But it was fun.
It was fun.
That's right.
That's what matters.
That's awesome.
We solved a lot of work problems.
Normally we'd
in the lobby
drink
of the hotel.
The cheap stuff, but that was a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I really like the fact that you're an enthusiast who really just enjoys the thing, because a lot of times you see people that get into it and they get into something where it almost becomes stressful because they're trying to maintain their collection and look after everything, and this is the way to do it.
No, keep it simple.
The value is in sharing and the stories and the experience, and that's really cool.
Yeah. And when you have something like this, it's fun to share with friends. That's why I invited Chris. To said, when I approached him here, I don't know, it was a Bottle and Bond night.
I think so, yeah.
It was pretty crazy, I know, that night. And
yep.
I'd been kind of thinking about this, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go up and ask him. He may think I'm a fool or something like that, but all right, I'm going to try it anyway. You don't know. And as soon as I said it to him, I said, "How do you think about coming and doing it in people's basements and bars? A lot of people have nice bars." And I seen him kind of stare off into space like the wheels were spinning.
They were spinning.
What can we do with this?
smoking.
What can we do with this? And a week or two later, I got an email from Tammy, and I was like, "You're right. This one's going to be cool."
I got a text right away, I think.
Oh, you did?
I know Jared did too.
We got a new idea.
Guess what? Guess what? Right.
I get a kick out of the. People take pictures of his bar, and I've shared those with a few folks, and I love how they'll zoom in on the picture to see what he's got.
For sure. First thing to do.
So, it's funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like that sometimes sitting at your bar, Chris. I don't know, I was up there last week before, and there was somebody sitting next to me, and I'm not a whiskey professional. I mean, I got okay. I just because I got a bunch, I got okay taste buds and an okay smeller, but I'm not going to be able to pick out one too much from the other.
Fair enough.
So I just like drinking it. But there was a gentleman sitting next to me, and he was, I think, trying to impress me with what he knew about whiskey. And have you tried this one? I said, yeah, I've tried that one. But I tried that one. And
where did you try it?
They said, yeah, I got that bottle. Yeah, I got that bottle. And I finally just pulled up a picture and kind of showed it to him, and his eyes kind of like, these are all yours? I'm like, yeah. He didn't say anything after that.
Isn't that funny?
Find someone else to impress.
I like come drink at that bar. Yeah, a lot of people do. I'm not going to tell you where it is.
That's great.
Right. Well, again, there's no pretense, and it's cool. This is a great environment, and again, we're really fortunate that you decided to have us over because this is a place we could spend some time.
Glad you guys did, and glad you came, and you were more than welcome to come again, with or without the mics.
Okay.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, on that note, we could do this for a very long time, but I think what we need to do is I can hear everybody. Their breath is bated because they want to know the answer to the German word of the day for sure.
Yes. So, if we can all remember the German word of the day was Das ist mir wurscht.
Right.
And if we could review these amazing entries. Okay, Steven said it means a sing-along. Sandy says it means it's my birthday.
Yep.
Kevin says it means this is my sausage.
Well,
he
Very German.
He was definitely on the right track with sausage instead of song, unfortunately for you guys. But so Das ist mir wurscht means that's sausage to me, which is basically it says it's a really artful way of saying that you don't care at all. So like if you're that's sausage to me. You just Das ist mir wurscht.
Nice.
That's sausage to me.
I love that.
Like it's BS.
Yeah.
What a great German phrase.
Idiom, yeah. So I wasn't too far off.
No, you were right there, yeah. This is my sausage. This is my sausage. That sausage to me.
Somebody has come up to me with some frivolous piece of knowledge that I didn't care about, and I said, that is my sausage.
That is my sausage.
Remember that next month when you have your sausage fest. Don't you have that coming up in April?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Good
sausage
call.
to me? No, that's not sausage to me, but it could be.
It could be, yeah.
It will be sausage.
If
Remember
you
that
eat
phrase.
it, it's yours. So, I don't know. I mean, do we give that to Kevin? He kind of got that, really. This is my sausage, and that's sausage to me.
Oh, my God. Jared's saying yes.
Jared's clapping.
Is this the first time?
Is this
almost a year?
Are we going to give it to
got
him?
it.
So,
Okay.
Fantastic.
He got it. Kevin got it.
Mackerel.
Congratulations. I didn't bring confetti. I have confetti in the brewery ready to pull the string, but I don't have it here. The one time.
German word of the day confetti.
Darn it. Yeah, it's blue and white for the Munich flag.
Yeah,
the Bavarian flag.
Steven's over there like, I built this awesome bar. And then
forgot confetti.
You want freaking confetti, too?
Well, actually, just wait. Here it comes. Get
What's wrong
it.
with you?
You could drop a ceiling tile on you, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, just hit me over the head with it.
We can splash bourbon all over you. How's that?
That's outstanding. Well, this was a tremendous experience. Thank you again for having us, and thanks for hanging out at the Stubborn German. I think this
Probably
is
be there tomorrow night.
We'll look for
See you
you.
there.
I think you still have some Eagle Rare left.
we may.
May.
Yeah.
It's,
Depends on what are you doing after this? Are you going up there to drink more?
I've got Eagle Rare here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a great example of the community and the friendships that you make. By
For sure.
by going up there and hanging out and being able to share this stuff. So it's very, very cool.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I think that's going to basically wrap it up for this one. If you like this episode, which I can't understand why you wouldn't have.
I don't know.
Especially because I won.
There you go.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then the next one will be delivered right to your device, free of charge or free of sausage. Just free of charge, is right in there. Bam.
That's Ishmi-verse.
That's right. The Ishmi podcast. You got nothing. You don't have to do anything. It'll just show up. So as we traditionally round these out, we do this with a toast, and there's so many different ways to share toast here. We're just going to do our traditional prost. So, gentlemen.
All right, prost.
Prost. Prost.
Didn't break any glasses there. All right.
No.
A little bit of whiskey on the bar, but that's okay.